NYRers, welcome to Dorie Clark Week. I'm Olive Hui, your host. Monday, how to find your breakthrough idea if you have more than one passion. Tuesday, how to build and grow your email list. Wednesday, how to structure your day and year to be more productive. Thursday, networking as an introvert, how to talk about yourself. Friday, how to blog for high-profile publications and create other social proof. Monday to Friday, February 27th to March 3rd. Hello everyone, welcome back to New York Resume Dorie Clark Week, Wednesday. So Monday we talk about how to find our passion. Tuesday we talk about how to build and grow your mailing list. Today, more obstacles to overcome. My name is Olive Hui. You have watched New York Reel. You are a New York Reeler. I'm with Dorie Clark today. Dorie is a marketing strategist, author, speaker, like my mentor and my friend. I learned so much from Dorie, so I want to share more with you today. Dorie, I need help with being productive.
Don't we all?
Yes. I'm very still, I'm very slow. I take my time to perfect the environment. I'm OCD, but sometimes I just need deadline. I need to have structure in my life. I've been using the 5-minute journal, productivity journal, and those are all really helpful. So when I took your course, not a lot of people talk about how to schedule, make plans for the year. I hear daily routine. Can you share a little bit about how you see the importance of planning for the year and how to prioritize and be productive?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think you're right. There is a sort of vogue about, how do you have a perfect day? And
you wake up, meditate, have your coffee, and read your New York Times.
That's right. And then you've won the morning. Okay.
And it's lunch and you didn't do anything.
Yeah, exactly. And that's great. It's nice to optimize on a small scale, but there's also the question of how do you optimize on a larger scale, meaning, at the end of a year, are you just a yogini, or have you also done something else that you can point to? Like maybe you wrote a book, or maybe you created a course, or, some other sort of longer term aspiration.
The long game. Let's hear it.
Yeah. And so I think that one of the important pieces here to really get clear on is that people falter sometimes because they create way too many goals for themselves. And so a kind of principle that I have in place is that in terms of my professional life, I have no more than 2 goals at any given time. Now, that doesn't mean, of course, that I am literally only doing those other things. Yes, I have to respond to emails or, things like that. I have to maybe, meet with a client. But as we think about big picture North Star items, I only have 2. And it becomes a really good sort of decision-making device for me, because if I am evaluating, will this thing that I am deciding whether or not to do, will it help advance my cause? Will it help me get toward this big picture goal that I have for myself? Then it enables me to make better choices. Because, for instance, if a big goal of mine is, like, say, launching a book, there's a lot of things that I could be doing. And if I get an invitation to give a speech, then I say, okay, well, will it actually help me market the book? And if it turns out that they want me to speak about the book and there'll be an opportunity to sell copies of the book there, or maybe they're going to buy them for the people in the audience, then I would very much lean yes, because it's the speech. It's not that my goal is to give speeches. My goal is to market the book. We're clear, but I say yes to the speech because it's in service of that bigger goal.
Oh, wow. So you see the big picture, and like a lot of times we talk ourselves into that coffee date might be helpful. Like maybe that's networking, and then you get distracted. So 2 big goals. I love that. The North Star goals. It would be hashtag right here.
That's right.
I know that you also have lots of resources on outsourcing. How do we know what to keep doing by ourselves and what to outsource? Where do you find the people to help you?
Yeah, so there's a few ways to look at this, of course. The best starting point, though, the starting point that I think is universally useful that not enough people do, is to do a time tracking exercise. And this is something that my friend Laura Vanderkam, who has written a number of books on time management and productivity, recommends. But you can't make good choices about your time if you don't know how you're spending your time. I mean, that's pretty basic, right? Like, we know if you're trying to embark upon a weight loss campaign, you need to write down everything that you're eating, because then it's like, oh, right, I guess maybe I shouldn't have had that bag of Cheetos. It's like, you get it if you see it on paper. And similarly, if you're actually being responsible about time tracking, you can understand. You might say, oh gosh, I feel like I'm in meetings all the time, or I'm answering emails all the time, or whatever. But what does that really mean? How long literally are you spending doing it? You can be much smarter when you see it in black and white. So that's number one. But number two, then you need to ask yourself the series of questions. One is, what are you best at, and what do you enjoy the most and the least? Those are the things. You need to be spending your time doing the thing that you love and the thing that only you can do. If somebody else can do it adequately enough, fine, let them. That's great. There's the term in business, the highest and best use. What is the highest and best use of your time? And so once you've made this strategic decision about that, then you can choose to outsource. Now, I mean, there are important exceptions, and you just have to think about what values matter most to you. So I will give you an example. In my case, I'm fine at math. I was the captain, Olive, of my math counts team in middle school. So
Wow.
we were regional champions, mind you. So I'm perfectly good at math. That being said, I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. But you know what? A lot of people, the first thing they say is, "Oh, well, you ought to outsource your bookkeeping." Who wants to do that? I want to do that. I will tell you why. It's my freaking money. I don't want somebody messing with my money. You know how many people I know? I mean, all these friends, they're bookkeepers. They screwed things up because they were incompetent. Some of them had malfeasance. There are so many ways that you can go wrong if you give responsibility for your money away. And so even though it is boring and I hate it, I will never give away responsibility for managing my money and knowing who has paid me and who has not paid me, because that is what keeps me successful as a business person.
Wow. And that is true, because it's so personal. And sometimes people just think, oh, I'm lazy, I don't want to do it. But there are some things that it's rewarding when you do it yourself.
Yeah, I mean, Alanis Morissette, right? I mean, just like 5 minutes ago, there was a news story that, I don't know what, like $4 million of hers got embezzled by her, I don't know who, her manager, somebody like that. Poor Alanis Morissette. I mean, we love her. She's great, but she had one hand in her pocket and her manager had his hand in her pocket and was stealing her money.
That is crazy. So if she didn't pay attention, then it's
we can't do that, especially for creatives, for artists that are watching this. I mean, it sucks. It's boring. But you know what? I just turn on iTunes and I listen to music that I like. And I just say, you know what? This is going to be a shitty Saturday. I'm going to rock out to my little tunes, and I'm going to do data entry, and I'm going to reconcile bank accounts, and this is going to suck, but I will do something nice tonight to reward myself for it. And you don't have to even do it that often. I mean, you probably should do it every month. I don't. I probably do it every quarter, just to kind of keep it going, keep on top of it. But if you do it, you will be rewarded with knowing where your money comes from, and you will be rewarded with no one ever cheating you in a fashion like that happens all too frequently when you abdicate your responsibility.
That is really good advice. Last week, I was at an event about website building. And since I didn't have any training, I was learning and getting ideas. And I remember somebody announced, okay, so we're going to choose some lucky winners. We will build your website for you. Who would like that? And a lot of people raised their hands. But I felt the same way as what you was just saying. Why do I want someone else to build my website? I'm sure I can learn it. I'm sure I can build a simple version that I love. You have your own UX design. You want your user to have the experience that you want. So that is something I think it's worth doing. I think we have to ask ourselves, what do we love doing? What are we good at? What do we not mind doing if it's so important to us?
Yeah, absolutely.
I
And
want to
it will
share.
be different for everybody because I'm happy for other people to build my website. Like that's okay. It's really just money I want to be on top of. But yeah, we all have our list, and so
Mm,
knowing that is important.
yes. I wanted to ask you to share that little habit of yours. It was during one of the webinars, someone asked you how to be productive. And you shared that even when you don't feel like doing a big important task, you make sure that you also do something.
Oh yes, I think what you're referring to, all of
But that you might procrastinate if you don't, right? If you don't do
yes,
it then.
my strategy is to procrastinate by doing other activities that I still have to do, but not imminently at all. And so essentially, I procrastinate by doing also productive things. Um, and that may sound like sort of a ridiculous strategy, like how is that, procrastinating or whatever, but let me build it out here. Like a lot of people procrastinate in the sort of typical ways, like, oh, I'll just watch television or something, because they don't want to do the task at hand. Well, for me, I don't want to do the task at hand either. Like something is a lot less fun when there's a deadline attached to it. That's not fun at all. But what I try to do instead is pick something that's like way out in the future that I know I will need to do anyway, but I don't need to do it now. And I will do that because that feels more fun because there is no deadline. And so I'll just be like, okay, I promised to write that blog post for that person in September. Let's do that. and, and so, I mean, it is
Get it out of the
productive.
way, and
Yeah,
it feels more fun at the time.
exactly. So it's I mean, best case scenario, you are doing the work that you need to be doing now. We can all agree on that. But just sometimes we cannot motivate ourselves to do it. And if you're going to procrastinate, you might as well procrastinate by doing things that are productive at some point in the future.
How interesting is that? Time is such a special thing in the equation because now
You
you
need to
do
learn to trick yourself.
yes, and to get things done. And I love that. So now we know how to plan a day, plan a year. Tomorrow we're going to talk about networking as introverts. Who is an introvert? And why we able to talk to people and network? Like what are the tricks? Tomorrow we're going to dive in. Don't forget to go check out dorieclark.com/olive and you see what Dorie has prepared for you.
Here we are again, another shattered dream. You know I have it in me to give you what you want, but time and time again, you make me watch you leave. Another poison letter, when I know just what you mean. And you must know by now, you're all that I want. And you must know by now, you're all that I want. It's times like these that hurt so much, when your heart beats loud and you're out of trust. I don't know how we've come this far, but we're finding who we are. Never gonna love without you, never gonna fade away. Can you get this shit together?